Something's chasing me. Fish on, guys. Fish on already. Oh, that's a nice bass, guys. That's a really nice bass. That's a really nice... Oh, he came off. So 2024 has been an incredible year. It's the year I started to get into fishing in the outdoors seriously, and it's also the year I started this YouTube channel. And so with the year coming to an end, I thought it would be a perfect time to kind of commemorate some of my top moments out on the water to share them with you guys. Additionally, this video has recently gained me a ton of new viewers and subscribers, and I want to make sure all those new people see the old content I've done that it's already pretty cool before we delve into the new year where I've got some really cool new stuff coming out. So we are going to jump right into it. I am going to talk about each of these moments a little bit after I show them to you, but if you don't want to listen to me yap that much and you just want to see me catch fish, that's fine. I'm going to have timestamps down below, and also the full video for each of these catches is going to be linked in the description below. So if you want to watch the full video, go down there and click on those. Oh, that's a nice red on the fluke. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a... I think this is a nice one. This is a very nice fish. Okay, it's not as nice as I thought. But it is a nice red. Okay. Let's see if we can't get him. Alright. Come here, man. We got him. Alright. Now, let's see what we got here. Alright guys, well, this isn't quite the giant we had initially thought it was, but still a very, very nice little redfish on the fluke. So this was an absolutely incredible trip. I actually got out on the water when it was not even daylight yet, so it was pitch black, and I paddled deep, deep, deep into the marsh. I could hardly see a couple feet in front of me, and I had this one little headlamp, and I was seeing alligators and stuff out there, and it was pitch black, and it was pretty sketchy, but it was totally worth it when the sun came up and I got to watch that sunrise out on the marsh. It was absolutely beautiful. Anyway, I fished around for quite a while without any luck, and then I finally came to this area that you saw in the video. And at this moment, I started to see crystal clear water. I started to see a lot of life in the water. There was a lot of plant growth. There was bait fish everywhere. There was shrimp everywhere, but the water was really shallow and there was a ton of grass. So every other lure that I had just would not work in this area because it kept getting snagged in the grass. So I had this Texas rigged weightless fluke in shad color, and I was like, you know what, we're just gonna throw this out there and just see what happens. And sure enough, that redfish absolutely crushed it. It almost felt more like a topwater bite when it hit it, and it put up a great fight. That was the first redfish I've ever caught on a weightless fluke, and it was an awesome time. Right here, right below it, like right there, right in there. See that seam, how it comes out? I go just right up in that seam and then kind of hitting that and let it come down. This is just one big bowl, rocky bowl. They love this stuff. Oh, it felt like a little bop. That's a fish. Nice. Atta baby. It's fighting more than the other one. Yep. So just keep it tight. Don't dip your rod tip. Just keep a bend in it. That's all you're doing. There we go. Had a baby on the active retreat. Oh, that's a good one. Had a baby. Nice. All right, and then you're just gonna drag her head up and get her into the net. All right. There you go. That's a nice one. Yeah. Look how fat she is.
Hang on now. We can't say all of that.
Well, yeah. Don't want to fat shame her. Look at that belly. That's somewhat decent. Awesome fish, guys. Look at that. So this catch wasn't actually my first smallmouth. It was my second smallmouth catch ever. But the first one just didn't put up any fight whatsoever, and
I'm not gonna count it, okay? I'm sorry. This fish, however, put up an amazing fight. So for this catch, I was in Virginia, and I actually hired a charter, and it was totally worth it. We went out on an absolutely stunning river, some of the most amazing scenery I've ever seen. I mean, Virginia is beautiful, and so it was so interesting to be in such a stunning area, to see the mountains and the trees all around me as I was fishing, and our guide was just absolutely great. He put me on fish all day. I had so many opportunities to catch smallmouth. For the catch that you guys just saw, my guide was basically telling me to cast my lure, which was basically a Ned rig or a Texas rig craw, out into the current, because these smallmouth bass like to sit right on the edge of current pockets. And sure enough, I mean, I cast over there and I let it sink to the bottom, and almost immediately I felt that smallmouth on there, and it was a really fun catch. I mean, you saw it in the video, it went airborne a couple times, put up an awesome fight, and I'm pretty sure that was the biggest one of the day, so that's why we're gonna count that one as my first smallmouth and not the little dink that I barely even felt. If you want to watch me catch the dink, the full video to that is linked below. It was still a good time, but this one was awesome.
All right, guys, we are at our first spot. This water still looks absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. That's shrimp. That's shrimp in the water right now. We got shrimp. We got bait fish. This is looking very fishy. Okay. Got a fish, guys. I got a decent hook set too. It doesn't feel too big, but it's something. That's a red. That's a red. He's fighting more now that he's getting closer. That's not a bad red. That's not a bad red. It's gonna be right on the cusp. It might be a keeper. It's gonna be close. I think I got a decent hook set. Let's see if we can get him in. Let's see if we can get him in the net without getting everything wet. Oh, got him.
So that clip is really special to me. This is the fishing trip where everything really just kind of came together and worked out perfectly. Before then, I was kind of just barely getting by, barely catching enough fish, really struggling to make my content seem interesting. But this video was something different. I paddled deep into the marsh. Almost as soon as I got there, I paddled into this little cut. The tide was pushing in, so it was pushing in all kind of bait fish into this cut, and you could tell this was going to be a good spot. Almost as soon as I paddled in, you could see in the video there was a blow up right next to me. I could see shrimp and bait fish jumping everywhere, and I pulled into this area, and I didn't capture this on video, but I was standing up in my kayak and I could see redfish everywhere, absolutely all around me. And so I paddled and I pushed right up on that grass, and my first cast I hooked into this fish. And this was a really special video once again, because it was also the first day that I just loaded up on fish. My friends would always tell me, if you go fishing enough, you're eventually gonna have one of those days where you finally, you know, everything comes together, you catch a ton of fish. And this was that day for me. I think I caught 5 or 6 redfish, all of them keepers, and I was just catching fish all day. I even lost a giant, and it was something special. Definitely an awesome memory.
There's no way that's a fish. That's a big gar. Oh my gosh. It's a massive gar, guys. This is gonna snap my line 20 times over. Oh no. This is like the biggest gar. This is massive. This is a little bit dangerous too. I'm about to see how good my knot skills are. He's just running me, man. Oof. Oh man. I'm gonna make sure the camera's clean. Oh, look at him go. Look at him go. He might spool me. Oh man. Big fish. big, he's right there. I can see the tip of my lure. Oh my gosh. How big is this fish gonna be? My only twitch bait too. My only twitch bait. Loosen my drag just the tiniest bit. Yep, that's good. I just want to see him before he snaps my line. Oh, there he goes. Oh man, at this rate he might. I can't believe he hasn't shook it yet. There he is. There he is, guys. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. He's got to be what, at least 4 or 5 foot? Look at him. Look at him. Oh my gosh. I hope y'all can see that. I hope the camera's clear. Oh man. He's huge. He's a giant. He's a giant. This fish is massive, guys. Look how cool. Look at that, guys. And the only reason I don't know what I'm gonna do. I really want to get this lure back. I don't think I'm gonna, because you see those teeth, hopefully. If I try to reach in there, he's gonna just absolutely, he's gonna shred me. My only hope is to really wear him out, like really wear him out. That's at least a 4-foot gar. That's at least a 4-foot gar, guys. That is just absolutely massive. My only hope though is to really wear him out, which it looks like we're getting there. And maybe I could like hit him, not hit him, but hit the lure and kind of like pop it out of his mouth. I don't think we're gonna get this lure back, but maybe, just maybe. Oh man, I don't know about that. I'll at least get y'all a good look at this fish before we lose him. Oh. And he just feels like a freaking alligator. Okay, I think we're good. We're doing... Oh, come on. This is dangerous. This is dangerous. This is stupid, Josh. Okay, okay, okay. If we can just get right there and pop it. Got it. There, we got it. There he is. There he goes, and he's gone. Now this catch was absolute insanity. So when I went out for this trip, I had been cooped up in my home for about a month. We had been getting a ton of rain in the area and I wasn't able to go fish. And the forecast for the day I went out was not looking so good. We had strong winds and we had some pretty big rainstorms coming in. And me, you know, just feeling locked in, cooped up, I decided I was gonna go fishing no matter what, and that's what I did. I was targeting speckled trout, and I did catch quite a few in this video, but none of them were keepers. And then the rain came in, and it started to rain pretty decently, and then pretty quickly I got soaking wet, but luckily it wasn't cold, so I was fine, and there was no thunder at first, so I was fine with that. So I was paddling around, fishing, catching some bass, catching some speckled trout, and then I thought I hooked into a log. I mean, I didn't feel a thump. I just set the hook on this fish, and for a second, it didn't feel like I had anything. And then the fight was just on. I know a lot of people think gar are trash fish, but they're actually a native species in Louisiana. They exist in a lot of areas where other fish can't, and they have a very important role. I have a lot of respect for these fish. This fish put up an incredible fight. I mean, you saw it. He was jumping out of the water. He was splashing water all over me. It's a good thing I was already soaked from the rain. And then the fact that I caught this fish on a jerk bait, of all things, with a 10-pound leader.
is insane. And then the fact that I got my jerk bait back, because there was no way I was gonna lift this fish out of the water. I mean, he would have absolutely shredded me to bits. It was already a little bit sketchy me trying to reach into his mouth, but we got that lure back. I still have that lure to this day. It's got bite marks and teeth marks all over it, and I've caught plenty of fish on it since catching him.
Oh. Fish on. Oh my gosh. That's a nice fish, guys. That is a nice red. I think that's gotta be a big red. That's gotta be a big red. He is pulling drag all day, all day. I hope I've got this fish hooked good. I hope I've got this fish hooked good. This is what I wanted, guys. He's pulling me all over. He's pulling me all over. He's pulling me, he's coming right at me now. We gotta work this fish. We gotta work this fish. This is a big old fish. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh man, I just gotta hope my line goes. Gotta hope it stays strong. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This fish has got some spunk. Oh, come on, man. On the crawl. Oh, no. Come on, get in that net. Get in the net. Ugh. Let's get in the net. Get in the net. Ugh. He's barely hooked. This fish is barely hooked. He's in. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, guys.
So the clip you just watched was also very special. I had just gone saltwater fishing about a week before with my friends in their boat, and I had had a great time. And so that inspired me to take my kayak back to the same area and to paddle it out deep into the marsh. And that's what I did. It was a very, very sketchy paddle. This is before I had the trolling motor or the pedal drive kayak. So I paddled out into open water, and if you watch the full video, you'll actually notice that when I first got there, I spooked a redfish, and you can see it in the video. He swims right up to my kayak, and then he sees me, and he takes off. I'm almost certain that was the same redfish that I later went back and caught, because it was in the same exact area. It was about the same size. So I think that's really cool that I spooked this fish and then came back about 4 or 5 hours later and caught him. So this was my first redfish in the kayak, and it is definitely something special. There's a reason they call it a Cajun sleigh ride. I was anchored down in that kayak, and it was still just absolutely turning me all over the place. Since then, I've caught some when I'm not anchored down, and it is so fun just to be pulled all over the place. But this was also, and still is, the biggest redfish I've ever caught to date. He came in at about 25, maybe 26 inches, and he tasted amazing. This is the fish that got me into redfish to begin with. You know, if you can't tell from watching this video, most of my favorite catches are redfish, and there's a reason for that. They are an incredibly beautiful and powerful fish. You're always gonna have a good time. They're always gonna put up an amazing fight. And this fish started it all for me with redfish. Since catching this guy, I have not looked back. Almost every weekend now, I'm out there trying to catch more. All right, so that's gonna do it for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed watching me catch those fish. If you did enjoy and you're still watching, please do consider subscribing. My analytics show that a lot of you do watch multiple videos but aren't subscribed. I have a goal for 2025, which is to reach 1,000 subscribers. This would ultimately allow me to monetize the channel and hopefully make a little bit of money, which would incentivize me to make even more content for you guys. So please do consider subscribing, especially if you view this content regularly. It would mean so much. If you're still watching at this point and you are subscribed, or even if you're not, I just want to say thank you so much. This has been an awesome year. I cannot wait for 2025. I've already got 2 videos filmed and they're in the process of being edited, and I think they're 2 of my best videos to date, and I can't wait to share them with y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I will catch you all on the next video.